Take it from Magic Johnson, who said Bam Adebayo's block on Jayson Tatum's dunk attempt was the best defensive play I've seen ever in the playoffs. So, Jalen Rose, let me come to you. Is that the best defensive play you've ever seen in the playoffs?
I hate to be the person that doesn't have sensationalism with all of his commentary. It's an outstanding block, a game-saving block. But when you start talking about the greatest blocks in the history of basketball, you have to think about the stage that they happened on. And this is the first round of the conference finals, game 1. There's so many plays. LeBron's block against Andre Iguodala comes to mind. When there's like a game 7 and a championship on the line. So this is an outstanding play. It could be a series-altering play because winning game 1 when these two teams are so vastly different in a lot of ways could now catapult the Miami Heat into a position to put the Celtics at a must-win game 2 because that's what it's going to be.
And you'll see that tomorrow night. Again, Jalen and company with Countdown, and then we've got the East Conference Finals on ESPN. Okay, I've waited this long to get you to the main event. The Clippers had a 3-1 lead against Denver with a team that was put together to win a championship. We showed you the highlight at the beginning of this hour. They lose Game 5, blowing a 16-point lead. They lose Game 6, blowing a 19-point lead. And last night, with their season on the line, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George combined to score 0 points in the fourth quarter, and out they go in Game 7. Jalen, the floor is yours.
So I'm going to make sure I celebrate my Denver Nuggets later because Michael Greenberg, you know how much I love that team and how we've been talking about them for the last couple of years, and I got bets all across the network because of the Denver Nuggets. With that being said, let's start with the Clippers. You can't skip steps. What happened with them is a classic example of why I love sports, Greeny. It's a microcosm of society. It shows you how to deal with success and adversity and how you deal with favor, but also how you nurture yourself to the goal. So many times you feel like we put a roster together, so now we're going to win the championship in the first year. And I'm guilty. I picked the Clippers to win the West, and I picked them to win the championship. But now I think back, I'm like, LeBron and the Big Three didn't win it the first year. You can't rush the baby. The doctor tells you 9 months, and sometimes it might happen in 4 or 5. Might happen in 6 or 7. Might happen in 8 or 9. You can't rush it. And the other thing that I like about this, it becomes a lesson to counting your chickens before they hatched. Because the Clippers, they did a lot of celebrating, Greeny. They felt entitled. What I saw with Dame Lillard, and he missed those free throws. Patrick Beverley, he had a lot of fun with that. Paul George, on Twitter, they had a lot of fun with that. And they made sure that they let the Portland Trail Blazers know to enjoy your vacation. Enjoy Cancun. The problem is Dame Lillard need to get an extra suite for Paul George. Because the last couple of years now, and this is adversity, and I think Big Sean, shout to him, great Detroit 2 album. He said this on his album. He said he liked to put his back against the wall to see how much he's grown. That's what I feel about Paul George right now. Game-winning shot, Dame Lillard shoots him out of the playoffs. He goes to the podium. He says it's a bad shot. He leaves OKC to join Kawhi Leonard. They feel like they have what it takes to win a championship, and they lose to the Denver Nuggets in the second round. I can't wait to see what this adversity is going to do to grow the Clippers. They're still a great team, everybody. I know y'all want to trash them. They're still a great team. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, they didn't show up in the big game. That's what you need. Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams didn't show up in this series, were defensive liabilities, and their height were a problem defensively. And lastly, Doc Rivers is one of the best coaches in the NBA, and they do have a great coaching staff, and all of those guys should be in line for jobs, okay? Sam Cassell, Tyronn Lue, they should be in line for jobs. However, this is going to leave a stain. This is Doc Rivers' 3rd time leading a basketball team that had a 3-1 lead, and they lost the series. And I was there each time. I saw when it happened to the Pistons. I was in the gym when it happened to the Rockets, and then yesterday. So this is something that the Clippers going to get by. Their organization is going to respond. There is no knee-jerk reaction. Just try to find a way to keep Montrez. Try to find a way to keep Morris. There is no knee-jerk reaction. Just don't skip steps. You can't load manage throughout the regular season. The team wasn't healthy all year. They only played less than 20 games total together. And then once they got in the bubble, Lou was in and out. Beverly was in and out. Montrez was in and out. And they never got the cohesion that they needed. And they got shot down by the Joker, Murray, and the Denver Nuggets. Give them props in the Mile High.
Absolutely. I mean, from the very first day we launched this show 2.5 years ago, you have been talking about the Nuggets. And so now they get LeBron and AD and the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Give me a quick preview. What do you like in that series?
All I know is this. LeBron took a Stan Van Gundy wine swig last night. He like, wait a minute. Hold on. The Clippers were supposed to be my in-building rival and didn't even get to play against me in the conference finals? LeBron's shoes were oversized last night. He slept really good, Greeny. And the Lakers are in pole position to win this series. Their matchups for Jokic are going to be distinctly better than the Clippers. You have AD, you have Dwight, you have JaVale. They have so much height. They have so much bulk. Murray has been terrific, but this series is all about crowning the king. Let's bow down, and now I got to start having these conversations again about who's the GOAT of all time. Because LeBron James, Greeny, about to win his 4th championship this year.
Yes, he is.
LeBron James about to win his 4th championship this year.
And someone really smart has been telling you all year long that was going to happen and that someone is raising his hand. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.